All right, what's going on, my good students? This is your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin. You can just call me Dr. Jace, or you can just call me Jace, or you can call me Jason or Dr. Austin, or whatever the case may be. I do not get too hung up in those types of formalities, but you are in my class, and that class is 7305 Foundations of Library and Information Science for the summer 2019 semester. I am glad that I have you all, and for most of y'all, this is your first semester here. So I know that there's some adjustment, I know that there's some fear, I know that there are some butterflies and all of that. And so the reason that I record this particular intro lecture is to go over the syllabus, kind of go over the class, talk about what is expected of you, but there is also an element of me doing this so that you all get a little comfortable with me. And so I am going to just say a few things about myself as well. As talking about the class a little bit, and hopefully once this is all said and done, you'll be a little more comfortable with the class. Now, I do want to say a few things out of the gate. First of all, again, the name is Dr. Jace Austin. I am one of the newer members of CISL. I started teaching here in August of 2018, so I still have not been here a full year yet. And it does take probably about 3 years to actually get into the swing of professorship. So I say that to say that there may be a few growing pains and that sort of thing, but we're going to work through it. Another thing that I want to say is that I'm from the South. I grew up in the Carolinas. I got my PhD in 2017 from the University of South Carolina, and this is my first time in the Midwest. I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I think it is important to note, just to be honest with you. I look at my teaching evaluations, and I think that I may be one of the more polarizing figures in CISL, just to be honest with you. There are students who like me, and then there's students who apparently really, really hate me. But some of those things, I think that I can explain a few of those things, so I want to take a moment to do that right now. Two things that people do kind of not like about me at Mizzou, and I want to just explain those and try to get you all to understand where I'm coming from a little bit, so that you still may not like me the same way that some of these other students have not, but at least you might be able to understand where I am coming from. So the first thing that I want to explain is, yes, I'm a Southerner. I'm a small town Southerner. I think that I'm the type of person who may have come straight out of that show In the Heat of the Night. I think that there could have been a character based on me. And so I think that they're both cultural and regional differences that I don't think that some Midwesterners are quite used to a figure like me, and so it can be a little off-putting. One thing that I want to say to that is I am actually, believe it or not, a very nice guy, even if I don't always seem like it. And I think that what qualifies maybe as nice in the South may still be a little off-putting in the Northwest. I mean, in the Midwest. So I'm still kind of, I'm still kind of adjusting to the region and the minutia of living in this region and communicating with people in this region, and it is a little different. So I do want to reiterate to you all that, you know, students in the past have said that I seem unapproachable, I seem defensive, and things of that nature. If you have questions, just please go ahead and email me, alstonj@missouri.edu, and I will be approachable. It may take me a while to get back to you, but I will get back to you and try to help resolve whatever situation we have encountered. Because again, I think that some people see me and they do see somebody who's warm and friendly and that sort of thing. That has shown up through my student evaluations, but also through my student evaluations clearly. There are some students who encounter me and feel a little bit intimidated. So Don't be intimidated. I know that's probably asking a lot, but I'm not really as scary as some people seem to think I am. Second thing I want to bring to your attention is that I'm actually in a joint position here with the University of Missouri system. I do a lot of work for CISLT, where I am a non-tenure track faculty member, and then I am also a practicing librarian for UMKC, Kansas City. So because of that, I'm basically working 2 jobs, and then I do also have some publication and presentation responsibilities that I have to tend to. And so because of that, yes, there are some times when it might take a little while for me to get assignments and things back to you all. And that's because when there are things that come up relating to pressing student issues, or when I have things that come up that require my attention at UMKC, or things of that nature, or if the school has me publishing or presenting or anything like that, then all of those things can interrupt my flow a little bit. So I will say, and I apologize for this in advance, but I will say that sometimes you are not going to get your assignments graded and returned as quickly as you would wish or that you would hope for. And some other teachers in this program are able to get assignments back a little faster. Again, I apologize for that, but, we're going to make it through it. And so I promise you all, just, don't worry too much. Everyone who takes one of my classes and gives an earnest effort gets at least a B. I promise you that. If you get a C or an F, then it probably means that I don't think you put your best foot forward. But, don't be intimidated. Life is too short to really worry about a lot of things. And so I don't want you all worrying too much. If a little while goes by before you get your grades back, I don't want you all to panic too much. You can definitely contact me and everything. But I always have a backlog here. That's just the nature of my job. So I apologize for that in advance. But again, just please don't be too intimidated, okay? And don't worry too much. I think that life is just too short to worry. And one thing that I'm going to tell you is that in professional school, whether or not you have straight A's on your transcript or not, it's not really going to matter to a lot of employers. So, I understand that a lot of librarians are achievers or at times maybe even overachievers, but having a little blemish of a B on your transcript when looking for librarian jobs, if you're in a professional program like library science, then they're not looking at your grades that closely. What they're trying to see is that you completed the program, okay? And so the main thing is, I know it's easier said than done, but I want you all to relax, don't stress out about too much. There are no bibliographic emergencies. That's just one of the things that I tend to say, okay? Now with that, we're gonna look around in this class a little bit, and then I will allow you all to proceed with the class. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, so I'm going to make myself a little smaller here, and let's see if we can move this guy at least just a little bit. You are currently in a teacher view, so things may not look exactly, well, they won't look exactly the same when you're in, but you're going to get the gist of things here. Oh, actually, one other thing that I should probably show you all very quickly. I'm going to record optional lectures every week. This is the only one that's going to be required for this class. The rest are optional, but the rest, I think, enhance the course. However, like I said, I am a Southerner. I'm a Southerner true and through and through. And so I talk kind of slow. I realize that. So one thing that you can do if you are watching one of the lectures is you can feel free to speed me up. And so if you don't know how to speed up a YouTube video, I'm going to show you that right now. So let's get something here that is safe and non-controversial. I don't own the rights to this music. Okay, I'm going to show you just how to speed up a video real quick. So you see this, and what you can do is you can go here to settings, and you can go to playback speed, and you can increase it. So as you can hear, got some music going on there, but to speed it up.
You can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead.
So you can probably speed me up to a 1.5 and still not miss any of my.
I believe every line that I.
You can probably speed me up to a 1.5 and still not miss any of the important stuff that I'm trying to convey, okay? So feel free to speed me up. Now we're going to get out of that and back into our class. Okay, so let's go through the syllabus, okay? You can find the syllabus in the modules area. Find it right here. And so this is our syllabus for summer 2019. Let's go ahead and just go through this briefly. I'm expecting and requiring you all to read the syllabus, but this is just a way to kind of go over it with you and familiarize yourselves with it. Again, I am Dr. Jason Austin. Dr. Jace is the nickname that I go by. You can find my contact information here. The easiest thing is to contact me through email, austinj@missouri.edu. However, my phone number is listed here, 816-235-1875. And my office is in Miller Nichols Library on the campus of UMKC, okay? I will probably not have regular office hours during the summer. I will have those in the spring and fall, but during the summer, probably by appointment. Also, asynchronous course delivery, okay? We are not having any face-to-face sessions here or any live sessions, okay? Course overview, this is an introduction to the background, context, organizations, issues, ethics, so forth and so on of our library and information science field. There's a more detailed course description there. Please look that over. There are no prerequisites. Most people take this class during their first semester with the program. If you have some technology help, some technology difficulties, you can reach out to me for help. You can also reach the IT help desk, which is area code 573-882-5000, okay? So that includes if you have some Canvas issues. There are actually there is a Canvas help page, but beyond that, you can also reach out to the IT desk. If you need library resources, if you need help with library-related things, including finding articles and that sort of thing, then you can reach out to the library, Ellis Library, and they are more than happy to assist you. Technical help. Follow that link if you've got some technical issues related to logging in, accessing discussions, and things of that nature. The format for this class is completely online and async. Course modules, this class has been divided into 15 modules. There are basically 2 modules per week in the summer class, so this is going to be very intense. Required textbooks. You will have excuse me, hold on for 1 second. All right, and we do have some readings that come out of the Greer textbook, but the Rubin textbook, which I am holding here, let me make myself big. This Rubin textbook that I am holding here, this is really the guy. This is the guy that I focus a lot of the course content on. And this is the 4th edition. If you are unable to find the 4th edition, I will allow you all to use the 3rd edition of this textbook as well, which you can probably find cheaper and find on Amazon. Okay. All right, so the Rubin textbook, and then you got the Greer textbook, and there are some readings that are posted in the modules that you can access. Recommended course materials, I only accept APA. So you don't necessarily have to purchase the APA style guide. You can probably get by on the Purdue OWL, honestly. But I am checking for format when I grade assignments. So if your APA style is wrong, I am going to mark you down a little bit, but I'm also going to explain why it's wrong and urge you to re-look at the APA styles, okay? Groups, I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm going to divide you all into some smaller groups for some things, but it remains a possibility. graduate school policy on changes to syllabus. Just so you all know, I am allowed to make some minor changes to the modules and to the syllabus as the course progresses. So I'm going to try to avoid doing that, but I do reserve that right. Okay, purpose and organization of the course. This course is a very demanding survey course. I do promise to grade fairly, but there is a lot of work, and this is a condensed class because it's summer. So just know that it's going to be somewhat of a stressful class. Now, if it makes you feel any better, one thing that I want to let you all know is it's going to be stressful for me as well as being stressful for you. Everything that you all do, that you turn in, that you post on the discussion board, I've got to read and grade and all that stuff. So I'm going to be stressed out as well. And so we're all going to be stressed out together. Don't think that the professor is getting an easy ride while you all are busting your butts trying to do all the work. No, we are all going to be stressed out, and we're going to be stressed out together, and that is going to hopefully bring some success actually to all of us. Okay, so we've got that going on. And let's scroll. You've got some course learning objectives and outcomes. I'm going to actually allow you all to review those on your own time, but please be familiar with those. And I'm not going to go through those point by point because it's going to take a long time to do so. The course schedule. So this is what I want you all to see, because when preparing the course earlier in the semester, I do understand that the old course schedule was up, and so it was very confusing and very stressful. And for that, I apologize. But we've got that remedied now. Most of you have already completed assignment number 1. If you haven't, there is a little bit of a grace period because it was difficult to go in and do that right away. But as you can see, you pretty much got 2 modules each week on the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th of June, as well as the 1st, 8th, 15th, and 1 module on July the 22nd. And you will see assignments are due during these times. Make sure that you don't let assignment number 6 get too far away from you, because number 6 is due right after number 5, so that will also be a little stressful. But you know, just you can access that assignment to look at it now and just be aware of what's going to be expected of you. All right, now the assignments again. On the day that I'm recording this, which is June the 9th, you do have bio and statement interest assignment that you have to post in the discussion board. Again, most of you have already done this, but if you have not done that, assignments tend to be due by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, not Eastern time. I'm from North Carolina. I'm sorry. Central time. 11:59 p.m. Central time. And there is going to be a grace period for assignment 1. Again, most of you have already done it, but because you couldn't access the course, I'm sorry. That's all my fault, not yours. Because you could not access the course, then yes, there is going to be a little bit of a grace period. If you have not completed this by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., I'm not going to make any deductions. The second assignment will be due on June the 23rd at 11:59 p.m., which that's also a Sunday. The bibliography assignment, review of the literature, will be June the 30th. And that is a big assignment, and that does come right after this June 23rd assignment. You are allowed to turn the June 23rd assignment in early and get popping with your June 30th assignment. I know that that turnaround is going to be very stressful for you all, and for that I apologize, but again, it's a summer course. Assignment number 4, your history timeline, that will be due on July the 14th. So after you turn in that assignment number 3, don't take too much of a break, but you can catch your breath just a little bit and then start on that history timeline. The next week you will have the critical essay due, and again, that's going to be also a very stressful turnaround there. And then assignment number 6, July the 28th, which is actually a Friday, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes, so July the 28th is actually Sunday night, so I apologize for that. Since the syllabus says that it's due on the 28th, I have to honor that. I actually want to, I think in the other area of the class, it is due on the 26th, so I'm just going to have to readjust that to the 28th. But I have to turn in grades right after that, so just know that if you want to turn in assignment 6 a little early, that will be appreciated, and that may also help me turn in the grades faster to meet the grade deadline, okay? I would prefer if you turn it in that Friday on the 26th, honestly. But if you can't, you know, it is what it is. You will also be graded on contributions to the discussion board. And the bonus points thing for right now, that is if you are sent the mid-course evaluation, then you may have some opportunity for bonus points there. But the school may actually phase that out. One thing that I would say, though, just to kind of reassure you all that things, because I know that can be a little nerve-wracking as well. Most of you will probably get an A or a B, whether you get those 3 bonus points or not. Okay, I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, a weird way of looking at it, but that's pretty much how it goes. All right, you've got a grading scale here, and this is the grading scale that I'll be using. So, yeah, you will see if you get these amounts of points total, then you'll be in A+ territory, or A territory, or A- territory, so forth and so on. Again, most of my students finish, if they give a satisfactory effort, then they're going to finish this class with at least 145 points, which is a B. Okay. This class isn't that hard. I probably shouldn't tell you all that, but I'm going to. This class there is a lot of work, but the class is not that hard. Other classes that you take in the program are going to be harder. But when I say this class is not that hard, that does not mean slack off and not do the work, okay? The class will be hard if you don't put forth effort or don't pay attention, okay? But for the most part, if you are a good student, then the class is not going to be too terribly difficult, okay? ALA competencies, you can look at that on your own time. iSchool, blah, 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 you can look at that on your own time. How to meet learning objectives and so forth. Then from there, you go through all the modules, and the modules all have required and recommended readings. Let me just keep it real with you. If you are an overachiever, then you can go with the recommended, then you can do all the recommended readings if you want. More power to you. You are in a summer class, though, which is very intense. So I do not, I was about to say I don't require you to read the recommended readings, but that should be obvious given the terminology. You are required to read the required readings. If you don't have time for the recommended readings, do not feel bad. This is a summer class. You just may not have that kind of time. Okay? All right. So you will see required and optional readings in pretty much every module. Some of them you will see only the required, however. Okay? Let's keep scrolling down here. Scroll down, scroll down. I'm scrolling down. I'm scrolling down. 'Cause y'all are around. Okay. So here we go. So after that, module 15, which is really my favorite module, then some other important stuff. Canvas help. Again, this is where you go for Canvas help. Some of you may be out of the area. You can call this toll-free number, but hopefully you are on a cell phone plan that allows you some ability to call long-distance numbers. And we've talked about the library resources, but we've got that again. Academic integrity. Basically, folks, don't cheat and don't plagiarize. Again, you can read through that yourselves, but don't cheat, don't plagiarize, and we'll be good to go. If you have disabilities or health considerations, please do not suffer in silence. Please reach out to the Disability Center. So if you've got some things that may hinder your ability to to be successful in this class, then the Disability Center needs to know about that. So please reach out to them. And once you reach out to them, if there are some accommodations that I need to make for you, then we will work with the Disability Center to get those accommodations done, but please do not suffer in silence. I know that people go through a lot of things in this life, okay? So do not put yourself out there to fail. I have seen students who internalized their struggles and then didn't do a good job in the course because of that, and we want to avoid that, okay? Believe it or not, again, even though I am going to seem a little short sometimes, especially if I'm busy, and sometimes I think it's just cultural and regional and things of that nature, but I really do care about you all, even if it doesn't always seem that way. Think about it as your teachers back in the day, back in elementary, middle, and high school. Most of them did care about you all, okay? Even though there were probably times when it seemed like they were being hardcore or not seeming particularly fair or that sort of thing. Sometimes tough love is also a thing, but I care about you all. So, you know, just remember that even when times get tough. All right, communication access. If the Disability Center, if you need something to help with this, then again, reach out, okay? Note-taking assistance if you need it. Some other resources as far as accessibility policies and things of that nature. Intellectual pluralism, I'm sorry, I'm Southern, I butcher words. This is, especially when it comes to respecting each other, we are going to respect diverse opinions. Just also to be real with you, I have some opinions and I have some viewpoints and some things that I have noticed really weird some people out. So, you know, be respectful of my opinions. I'm not always right, but I see things how I see them and I tell it like it is, the way I think it is. And it's okay to disagree with me. It is totally fine to disagree with the professor, but do so respectfully, and I will disagree with you all respectfully as well, okay? So that's pretty much that. Online class and etiquette, yes. And I'll be real, sometimes I use foul language, especially when I'm speaking, not so much when I'm typing, but when I'm speaking, sometimes a four-letter word's gonna slip out. I'm sorry. But again, small town Southerners, that's just how we are. And, you know, but having said that, I'm still going to try my best to be respectful of you. I want you all to try your best to be respectful of each other and myself. So when we have discussions, please know that there is a way to agree to disagree without being too snarky or too unpleasant and that sort of thing, and I'm going to try my best to abide by that the same way I'm expecting you all to. And then I do have to respect your privacy, and I am going to make every effort to do so. That is the syllabus. Also, you will see modules throughout the class. So you'll find most of your non-textbook readings here. If you can't access something, let me know. But because you all are training to be librarians, I'm also going to expect you to put a certain amount of effort into finding things yourself, because that's what librarians do. And the people at Ellis are very helpful. So if you are unable to access an article, reaching out to Ellis is a good idea. They can help you, and some of the things that you might learn when you reach out to Ellis Library are things that you're going to need to know on the job. So don't be reluctant or hesitant to reach out to Ellis, because again, that is probably an insight into what you're going to have to do in your own professional librarian practice. Okay, discussions. Okay, so I apologize. Actually, there's going to be one discussion board per unit, and you all should see those, but I could not arrange them in order, as you can see here, and I'm in Professor View. It used to be with Blackboard, you could totally just rearrange these things, just drag them and take them where they needed to be. And Canvas doesn't really seem to be that adaptable to that sort of thing. So I apologize in advance. But you will see all your discussion boards here, and you are required to answer the discussions for each unit. If you have some questions about the expectations, then let me know. But for the most part, I'm just going to say that as long as you have an original post and a response with each unit, then you should be fine as far as getting all your participation. I can't expect as much from you all as I would from a spring or a fall course. However, having said that, please do not feel the need to limit yourself to just one original post and one response. Keep the conversation going. In this field, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. It is not just about what you know, it's about who you know. So it would be a good idea for you all to familiarize yourselves with your classmates here, kind of network, and do that because there are some people that you're going to meet in library school who are going to be your friends and colleagues throughout your career. Okay. Now, having said that, I do have the student free for all. I don't monitor this very closely, but this is a way for you all to have casual conversations with each other and get to know each other. Now, I will say that, what will I say? I'm sorry. I will say that, even though I'm not going to be monitoring the student free for all that closely, I do have access to it. So insulting me in a disrespectful way probably isn't the best way to go. Don't do that to your classmates either. If I see something that I feel was completely inappropriate, such as you calling a classmate a name or something like that, I am going to reach out to you and kind of wag my finger at you, okay? But this is a place for you all to do some networking, and I see that some of you have already jumped in. This post from Julie is exactly the type of thing that I am talking about. Please get to know each other, you all. Please have fun with each other, and please network so that even once this class is over, you all stay in touch, because I stay in touch with a lot of people from library school, and it's helped me get further in my career. Okay? I may also add just, I'll probably add optional discussion posts as time permits. But especially in the summer class, I'm not going to have that much time. Assignments. This will be the last thing that I go through here. So you've got all your assignments here. Oh, and I did put that advocacy statement at July 28th. So yeah, that is due on that final Sunday. Please do not be, you cannot be late with the July 28th assignment. And the reason that you can't is because I have to have the grades turned in, the final grades turned in to the University of Missouri on July the 30th. So if you are late on that 28th assignment, we got some issues, okay? So, yeah, just think about that. And you will see assignment descriptions for each of these. The reason, and I have people who sometimes ask me, they're just like, hey, can you let us know, can you give us like an example paper? And the reason I don't give example papers is because in my previous experience, students rely on those a little too much. I want some creativity from you all. I want to see that you all are using your brain. So if I see, you know, if I put an example paper and it just turns out to be a blueprint or a template for your assignment, then I've robbed you of an opportunity to actually show me what you can do. And I want to see what y'all can do. So I will probably, with one exception, I will probably not have student example papers. And that can be kind of scary to some people, but that is what it is. Now, again, there is going to probably be one exception. Actually, I'm going to go through these real quick. Just real quick, I'm just going to look at them. Just to show you that there is most of the time a grading rubric. Now, I will say that you can look for the bibliography and literature reviews. it is perfectly fine for you all to Google around and look for other examples outside of this class. So for these two assignments, assignment number 2 and assignment number 3, if you want to see an example of an annotated bibliography, you can find that pretty easily online. I do have some instructions here to help you, but the Purdue OWL actually has some good annotated bibliography examples. Literature review, the same. Google around, find some good literature reviews. They're out there, okay? But keep the rubric in mind. Now, with the history timeline, there are going to be some examples. I've got some examples for you, but you are not wedded to follow those examples. And then the main thing that I wanted to say is with assignment number 5, I know this can be a little confusing, but I actually may have a student example for assignment number 5. Assignment number 5 is an assignment that I inherited from another professor and made some modifications to, but I haven't had the time to make all the modifications I want. So in absence of making all the modifications that I want, I probably will post a previous example of a good example of assignment number 5, okay? And then that assignment number 6 is your advocacy argument. Now, the thing I will say is assignment number 6 is actually not meant to be intense. This is assignment number 6 is meant to be kind of a fun assignment. Please do not spend, really, if you spend longer than 3 hours on assignment number 6, then you have done more than you probably needed to do. This is probably something you can knock out within 3 hours, knock it out, and submit it to me, and then you'll be done with the course. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to finish this video within 40 minutes, and I see that I am at 37 right now. So 3 minutes just to say a few other things. The other things that I want to say to you all are, for one thing, oh boy, I think I've got some. Sorry, that the computer just froze on my end. I don't know if it froze on your end. But a few other things I want to say. If you need an extension, it's more difficult for me to grant those in the summer than it is in the spring or fall, but please reach out to me. Life happens, and there are things that make us very sad or upset us that can impact our performance. So I know the language of the syllabus is pretty, I think it's pretty grounded as far as, and pretty stern as far as what happens with late work. But still, if something happens and you need to reach out to me, please, the worst that can happen is I'm going to say no, I won't grant you an extension on that. But it doesn't have to be that, because some people think that the only way they can get an extension is if they are having really strong health problems, or if their mom or dad died, or anything of that nature. And there are some other things that I will grant like a 1 or 2 day extension for. If your dog dies, I know some people feel that that's not serious. To me, that's super serious. If your dog or cat dies, I like animals more than I do some people. So having said that, yeah, if the assignment, no, try to avoid this for that assignment number 6, that last assignment, because again, I got to get those grades in like 2 days after it's due. But if for one of the other assignments that comes earlier, if the assignment is due on Sunday night and on Saturday night your cat dies, you know, just say, Dr. Jace, send me an email. Say, Dr. Jace, I can't concentrate. My kitty died, and I just can't concentrate. Or if your significant other breaks up with you, that can be very upsetting. If friends pass away, or if, you know, if you have some pressing family obligation, try your best to budget your time around that. But if you just weren't able to do that, just reach out to me. I may say, yeah, take an extra day, take an extra 2 days. I may say no as well, but the worst that can happen is I'll say no. You know, there's no way that you will ask me for an extension and I'm going to make fun of you and flunk you. Okay, that's just not going to happen. I just might say no. But yeah, just reach out to me, And again, the email is austinj@missouri.edu. Expect a 48 to 72 hour turnaround time. And then if you do not hear from me by then, go ahead and email me again. So that is an intro to the course. You will get frequent announcements from me, so be checking the announcements area. And this will also be posted in the announcements, as will all lectures. So having said that, that is pretty much where we're going to end it, and let's have a successful semester.